Hello, my name's Michalis. I'm one of the activists that started the Occupy Buffer Zone movement in Cyprus, and I was also present during the Egyptian revolution from more or less the beginning in Tahrir Square. I just posted a statement online urging Egyptian friends to send video messages like this one to Turkish activists, and I said I would do the same, so this is it. I think it's very important for us to learn from each other's experiences in this global uprising, which we know is not just about a park and it's not just about Turkey. It's about one system all over the world, and in this way it would be sad for us to repeat the same errors. Now, Taksim is looking very much like Tahrir, unified and wonderful and full of energy, and the world is looking on with a mixture of excitement and sadness and pride and tears, and we're sharing this with you. There is some rumble, there is some comments from the army which are worrying, and I wanted to share with you the experience of the Egyptian revolution so that the same thing doesn't happen in Turkey. Most of what the world heard about the Egyptian revolution was some glorious photos and images like those which are coming out of Turkey at the moment, and since then it went quiet. Well, the Egyptian revolution so far has been a complete failure. Why? When Mubarak stepped down and the Supreme Council of Armed Forces took power, the people in the streets were chanting Eid Wahda, one hand with the army, that they were one hand with the army, and they believed that the army was the savior, and Egypt really paid the price for this. The army pretended to be the savior of the people, and of course if the army was going to take power, what they least wanted was a society like that starts a revolution. The army promised to hold power just for some months until they arranged elections. They had power for more than 2 years, during which they systematically worked to divide the country and create instability, to make people want these authoritarian power structures that now we're in the street saying that they don't represent us. I understand that people might feel like this could never happen in Turkey. I remember very well being in Tahrir and not ever feeling in my life such sense of unity, being 1 million people there risking our lives to stand together. I never would have imagined that 1 year later those same million people would have been killing each other in the streets, and that's what SCAF managed to do. Now, my point is only that we have to be very careful to not accept false victories. If your Prime Minister steps down tomorrow, it doesn't mean that we go home and it's the end of the fight, which for many Egyptian activists or people present in the protests, it meant this, for many of them. Any change that comes now out of these protests, like the Prime Minister stepping down, is planned. They will have a plan. He's not just going to step down and there's going to be victory. There's going to be a plan to take the power back, or there's going to be a plan for somebody else to take the power. It's very likely that the army steps in now, as there is a friction between the army and the state in Turkey, that the army steps in now, acting like the savior of the people, and then once everybody goes home and you don't have this force of being millions in the street, and everybody goes home, then the army will start picking at people one by one. This has been the experience in Egypt. Currently in Egypt you have the Muslim Brotherhood in power, which are a completely inept and corrupt political party which are destroying the country, and the army is sitting back, letting that happen, waiting for the moment where they will be called in to take the power back. That's what's happening in Egypt right now. It's not exactly the same situation in Turkey, but the point is that there are some parallels between the two situations. There are two parallels between the situations where it will be very, very wise to investigate everything that happened in Egypt, to have contact with Egyptian activists, to share experience, so that the same thing doesn't happen again. What we least want is such unnecessary losses of life. The people that have died and been injured so far is already so completely unnecessary. To believe in a forced victory, it would be even more so. We as the people have to take the power. If anybody comes along, such as the army, that claims to take the power for the state, to take the power from the state for the people, please do not go home. If the army steps in and takes power, there's no question, there's no two ways about it. It means bad news. That's my message from my experience in Egypt. I wanted to share it with you. I'm following everything here. I have very, very dear friends in Turkey. I'm following with my heart, and I wish you luck and wisdom and courage.